This is Absolute's 47 Fly. Now the interesting thing about this is that it's the smallest Flybridge Absolute in the range, and yet it's still full of all the wonderful Absolute features, and the packaging on these is always impressive. So this is well worth taking a good look at. And we're going to wander around and step on the stern, and we're going to do the full tour. Now we've got the high-low platform here, so you can put a tender on there obviously and launch that by lowering it into the water. There's also a little bit of storage out here as well, so this kind of thing is for deck gear. We've got a shore power lead in there and some warps at the moment, for example. And then I'm going to slip my shoes off, take you on board. Brand spanking new, this one. Look at this, it's lovely. And we'll do the full tour. Lots to talk about on here actually. There is life raft stowage under the seat. That's a very helpful thing. There's also canopies that go into this track here and completely enclose this whole cockpit area all the way around. And then we've got the sliding door here into the interior. And this is how she looks on the inside now. In fact, there is a drop window here as well. If I prod this button around here, there we go. We can now completely open that galley out to the cockpit. So it's an aft galley layout, as you've no doubt spotted for yourself. Absolute were one of the first to do this actually, and they've stuck with it. This can drop over to make that a little bit neater. Hang on, there we go. Like so. And then here we have got storage, but also dishwasher is in here. The hob, obviously. There's a multifunction oven here, so it's a microwave and a conventional oven and all that good stuff. This is interesting. This is like a little bin, but it can be used as an ice bucket for your champagne. Lovely. And also interesting on this one, it's got the light oak interior, but you'll see all of these high gloss dark sections just to give it a bit of contrast. That's something that that approved boats, the dealers for these in the UK, spec specifically on this one, just to break it up a little bit. There's a big fridge freezer over on this side, like so. And next to that, we've got the wine cooler and a bit more storage there, and the Fusion Hi-Fi there as well. Big windows on this one. There's a TV as well, actually, that comes out of there, like so, and there's blinds that drop down over these windows. In fact, you can see we've got the blind down at the galley here, so this has got a similar on these and around on here as well. There we go. That's a TV in play. Height adjustable table, it also unfolds. So for dining you can open it out and raise it up, and over an evening you can fold it up and drop it down to a coffee table. There's another opening window out over here actually. If I prod this button here, that opens like so for a nice bit of air through. And while we're pointing this way, I'll just show you in here, because we've got the distribution electrics panel across there. So all of the electrics of the boat, that's where you access them. Helm is over on this side. Now they do an option of twin helm seats if you want it. Approved boats felt that because you mostly drive from the Flybridge, they were just going to put the one down here, but if you want a second, it can be done. It's a very much an owner-operator sized boat. There's no crew cabin, and so you have the side access door here, which makes it much easier to get around the boat. And then over here, let's just put that straight, there we go. We've got the multifunction displays, which you can set up how you want. This one's on navigation at the minute. This one's the operating system for the boat. So here we can get into all kinds of stuff that control the vessel, like so. IPS on this one, so we've got the joystick, we've got the engine controls here, bow thruster on this one as well. That's the VHF radio, and that one is a dedicated screen just for the Volvo Penta instrumentation for the engines, and then a compass up there as well. There we go. That is, I think, the main deck fairly. Oh no, I'll tell you something else I wanted to show you. Hang on, back up. Beep, 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 beep. We have to do that, health and safety. Under here, he says, oh, there we are. crockery and stemware. See, I'm getting a hang of this, aren't I? So that's in there, and it's also in that one, all nicely secured in with these fiddles here and these little pegs here that hold things in place. You can tell it's Italian, can't you? Little espresso cups in there. Lovely. Now I think we've covered the main deck. Let's head on down. Now another very absolute thing is the sliding doors, and also the fact that we've got the owner's cabin in the bow. So if we slide that one open, so that disappears completely into there, and you can clip these back so they don't slide around when you're out at sea just by using that one like so. That means that that now won't go anywhere. And this is the owner's cabin up here in the bow. Massive windows here, so really light, bright space, great view. And what they've done with this, there's no TVs in here, but it is pre-wired, so that section there can come out, which allows you to fit a bracket, and as I say, all the wiring for it is already in place. So if you want TVs, dead easy to fit. Some do, some don't. If you do, not a problem. Wardrobe is here, like so. And this is interesting, that little chap there is a ladder for the escape hatch, which is in the ceiling, just there. You can just see the tag for it. But yeah, look at these big windows, and the circular ones are opening sections. And again, you're seeing the high gloss dark in places like this, just giving it a little bit of contrast. That's nice. Little dressing table over here. And a nice bit of floor space to wander around, actually. You can really get right around this bed. You've got to bear in mind, it's a 47-foot boat. It's well under 50 feet. But this is a great cabin. The packaging on these really is clever. This has its own ensuite. That's in here. Again, it's a pocket door. And again, it can be clipped back if you want it to. And there we've got the the basin and the shower and so forth, which I'm sure you've probably concluded for yourself. There we go. Check that out. It's nice finishes, isn't it? There we are. Very good. Mirror wave. But yeah, that's a nice space. Now what's clever about putting the owner's cabin in the bow, whereas normally they're in the middle of the boat, the widest part, is the fact that it gives you space back here for two really good sized cabins. So 3-cabin layout, but they are all side by side or double beds. No bunk beds, in other words. There we go. Decent headroom all the way through the whole cabin as well. Again, the big hull windows, again the opening section, and then we've got wardrobe in there. But considering that's cabin 3 on a 47-foot boat, that is pretty impressive. And as I say, it's the packaging. The packaging on these is brilliant. Let's back out of here, and I will take you down and show you this one. So this is cabin 2, again pocket doors, and that looks like an owner's cabin, doesn't it? It isn't quite as big as the owner's cabin, and it doesn't have a dedicated ensuite, but in terms of footprint and sheer size, that's fantastic. Again, good headroom. They've been quite clever with the packaging here, because that's the floor for the main deck above us, but then they've taken it up and in. So where the V of the hull comes up, so of course the floor has to come up with a V because that's the shape of the hull, we get the increased headroom. So we've got standing headroom all the way down through here, and then as we walk around, this is actually underneath the seating in the saloon area. So they've used that area underneath there. As we come around here, where we've got now the floor of the main deck, we're actually stepping down into the V of the hull. So we still get standing headroom. Wherever you go in this cabin, it's standing headroom. It's neat, isn't it? That's what I mean about the packaging. It's really, really good. Again, we've got storage, we've got space there for TV, pre-wired, we've got the big hull windows, we've got the opening section. It's got everything that you would expect. And also, round on this side then, is a rather nice I love these handles they put in here. They're concealed handles. Full walk-in wardrobe. Look at this. This is a really good size. Hanging rail there, hanging rail there. That's superb, isn't it? And again, you can see the hull is now coming up the V on this side, so there's just the one step there, which of course in there doesn't matter a jot. It's very, very clever. I like what they've done with this. They've really got a lot into it. That is a big cabin, isn't it? Little dressing table over on this side, again with the high gloss accents. And that is a very, very soft close. Lovely. Let's keep going. That one is, I mentioned a bit of storage. Some of your socks and your pants. And then both of these cabins share the day heads, which is this one here. There we go. So the loo, the sink and the shower. Again, a nice size shower actually. Look at this. Brilliant. There we go. But I think you can see what I mean. For a sub 50 foot, and it isn't only just sub 50 foot, it's not 49.99, you know, it's the 47, this one. It's excellent. This is access to service areas, so you've got bilges, plumbing, that sort of thing, tucked away in places like that. There we are. But that is the lower deck. It's good, isn't it? Let's carry on a bit further. That one there, I think, is air conditioning controls. It's off at the minute. We're in the UK. But you've got diffused outlets for the air conditioning up here and up here, so you've not got small vents with blasting out cold air. That works well. That is a nice space, isn't it? Fantastic. Okay, we're going to take a wander around the outside. We've got engines to look at as well and performance to talk about. We'll go and do that next. More storage down here. You can see the fenders are down in here. And if we head on around here, another repeater for the Fusion. I say another repeater, the main, there we go, Fusion repeater. That's what I'm trying to say. The main Fusion head unit is just down there, behind there. We've got a jet coming into Southampton Airport as we speak. Let's head on up here. No, we've got to go and look at the plane, haven't we? Come on. You know you want to. Where is it? There it goes. Yes. Remarkable. Right. Have you seen we've got Jack the Sack with us today? Maggie's having the weekend off. And Jack the Sack's anxious to get back into the field, so here we are. Flybridge then. These tours don't get any less mad, do they? This is a big space. Again, you've got to consider the size of the boat, but they have got a lot into here. Now on this one, they've gone for the bimini, so you've got the fixed radar arch here, and then a bimini top, just to keep the looks a bit sleeker. But if you wanted the hard top on there, you can have it as an option. That can be done. Nice dining area at the back of here. This is lovely, great view out. Very, very nice. And then over here, we've got the grill underneath this one. There's a sink, of course, and then also a fridge underneath there. And a bit of storage, full of canopies at the moment. And then a nice sunbathing area next to the helm. These are lift sections here, so if you want to bring those up like that, there we go, you can do it. That's very nice, isn't it? Nice little seat here to sit on and put your feet up as well. That is excellent. And then we've got twin helm seats here. And then again, repeaters for the multifunction display, so you can dial up chart or whatever else you want to on here. Let's try that again. Oh, hello. No, I don't want to do that. There we go, that's what I'm trying to do. No chart available. Okay, fine. Moving on. That one there, I think, is, let's have a look. That's the, oh, it's a chain counter, that one. That's interesting. So that's, it's counting the chain as you put the anchor down, obviously. We'll have a wander around there in a minute. VHF radio again on here, and then Let's put that the right way up. There we go. Absolute. Perfect. Again, you've got your engine controls, your joystick controls. What's quite nice is they've put these right on the edge, so when you're docking, you can really see exactly where you're placing the boat. That works well. Bow thruster control is there also. There we go. As ever, fantastic view from up here. Look at this. We are in Ocean Village in Southampton in the UK today, and the weather is gorgeous. Look at this. Fabulous. That, I think, completes the tour of the Flybridge. Let's go and have a wander around the decks. As I say, we will finish up with the engines. These are drains here, these little circular fellows, so you can see about the place. So any water that gets on here drains out through those. And in fact, you'll also notice there's little poppers. You can see them down here and here and here. And so the canopies will go over those seats. So when you leave the boat, obviously you don't want those getting wet and mucky. They will get covered up. Good. This closes down so that if you've got the canopy around the cockpit, then that's all nicely sealed. You don't have rain coming down through here. We are in the UK, you do have to consider these things. And then that's the transom door we came on. And we're going to head forward and around. Nice deep bulwarks on here, but also look at the way they've cut away this. And the reason for that is so that you get the view. You can see it, for example, on this side here, how that one's cut away and this one's cut away. So your view is not of the GRP bulkhead, it is of the water going past. Lovely. Let's head on round. Another plane going in. That's a busy airport, isn't it? Like the little shark motifs they got on here. This is massive glazing, isn't it? Look at the size of that. It's fantastic. So yeah, this is the cutaway section, but of course you've got the rail here, so it still feels nice and secure. That is the side door out from the helm. Very helpful. And then up here is another very nice convivial area up on the bow. The table there is height adjustable, so you can drop that down and infill that to a sunbed if you want to. And these are nice, these are little pop-up lights, so they just do that and come on thusly. There we go, and cup holders about the place as well. There we go, that's the hatch that's over that forward cabin that I mentioned has the ladder to get you up it if you ever needed to. But also just opens for a bit of ventilation, of course, if you want. Electric anchor winch and stainless steel anchor on this one as well, which is nice. Lovely. And that is down there for the anchor chain and the control. Very good. That's how she looks from here. Nice. Let's head on back down this side. So we are over the owner's cabin here. And of course, because this is raised up, it means that the owner's cabin comes right to the edges, and then we step down level with the main deck again. And that's that side window that we saw open. Superb. Fillers down here, like so. Diesel filler on that side, there's one each side, of course. There is manual bilge pumps, you can see them here, and they're backups for the electric pumps. There we go. That's pretty good, isn't it? Bit of storage underneath the steps. Go up like that. Quite a nice area that in there, actually. That little handle there, incidentally, on the left, is the handle for those manual bilge pumps. And then we've got a boat hook here as well. Good. Now, engine access. Yes, I was reminded to use both of the catches this time. There we go. Those of you who see my absolute Navetta 48, I think, tour will know what I'm talking about there. Right, let's spin on round and head on down, have a look at the motors. Here we go. We've got canopies in here at the minute, so it's because it's a boat show, they just put everything in here out the way to keep the cupboards free for people to see in the storage areas. But nonetheless, we can get to everything that we need to perfectly well. So Volvo Penta in here, D6 IPS 650s. They are 480 horsepower each, if I remember rightly. And they are giving the boat just over 30 knots. There's two of those. There's another one over on this side, like so. Cruising, you're going to cruise sort of, you know, low to mid 20s really, I would imagine. and your range is going to be around about 300 miles at that sort of speed. As ever, drop the speed right back to displacement, you'll get probably 2 or 3 times that range. But at planing speeds, that's what we're talking about. Very typical for a boat of this size. She's pod drive. You can see the top of the pods back there. And actually it's just quite a nice well-lit area in here. You can get to everything. We've got the fire system in here as well. That is of course automatic. You don't need to come down and use that if there's a problem. It sorts itself out. And then we've got fuel tanks here on either side. Like so. There we go. That's the hot water in behind there. And some of the plumbing. And the charger is that blue box, the battery charging. And the other thing we've got down here, it's a little bit hidden at the minute, is the generator, which is in behind here. There it is. Thusly. Very good. There we go. I think that's about it. There's no crew cabin, as I mentioned. I keep mentioning it, I know, but it's worth remembering. It's a 47-foot boat. It's not a crew cabin size of boat, this one. Let's come back out of here. It's a very helpful rail to hold on to as we come up. We will drop that one back down. There we go. And I think we'll take a wander back up to the bow and we'll finish off up there. This is the South Coast Boat Show in Southampton, which they hold every May. It's a nice little show actually. A little bit quieter and more intimate than sort of the big Southampton show that's in September, but plenty of stuff here, worth a visit if you're ever in the area. There we go. And I'm going to finish off up here. I'm going to say massive thanks to Approved Boats. They've got this one for sale. They're the dealers for these in the UK. And in fact, this is their home stamping ground. They are actually based here at Southampton at Ocean Village. And I will say massive thanks as ever to you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments. And we'll catch you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.